Sleepless nights since the breakup? Tired of feeling sad and empty? If you're ready to finally move on and reclaim your joy, you're in the right place. Welcome to the Unbeatable Heart podcast. I'm your host, Banuel Dogaiman. I've been through it, and now I help a community of 50,000 people find the path to real healing. This podcast gives you the proven, actionable steps to rebuild your self-esteem and create a life you love. I want to start today by asking you a question. Have you ever had a day where you thought you were finally getting over your breakup? A day where you felt a little bit of hope, maybe even laughed for the first time in a while, only to be hit by a wave of sadness that brought you right back to square one. If you've ever felt like you're on an emotional roller coaster you can't get off, this episode is for you. Today, we're going to do something a little different. There won't be any tasks, no to-do list, no three-step plans. Today is not about doing, it's about being. It's about giving ourselves the space to be exactly where we are, without judgment. I want to talk about the emotional roller coaster of a breakup. One day, you wake up and for a few hours, you actually feel okay. The sun is shining, you get some work done, you even laugh at a friend's joke. You think to yourself, maybe I'm finally turning a corner. Maybe I'm getting through this. You feel a flicker of real, genuine hope, a lightness in your chest that you haven't felt in weeks, maybe months. And then, just like that, it hits you. A memory, a song on the radio, seeing a couple holding hands on the street. It can be the smallest, most random thing. And suddenly, you're right back in the pit of despair, crying as if the breakup just happened yesterday. The hope you felt just a few hours ago feels like a distant, foolish dream. The weight is back, heavier than ever. You feel hopeful one moment and completely hopeless the next. You feel a surge of anger, then a wave of deep, soul-crushing sadness, and then nothing at all, just a hollow, empty numbness. Sometimes this can all happen in the same hour, and through it all, there's this quiet, terrifying question that echoes in the back of your mind. Am I going crazy? Is there something wrong with me? Why isn't this getting better? Everyone else seems to move on, but I'm still stuck here. You see their pictures on social media, you hear stories from friends, and it feels like the whole world is moving forward while you're trapped in a loop of your own pain. If that sounds familiar, I want you to take a deep breath because the most important thing I can tell you today is that you're not going crazy, you're not broken, you're healing. I remember a time in my own life when I was trying so hard to be okay for everyone. I was telling my friends I was fine. I was pretending I had it all together, that I was strong and resilient. But it was a performance, and it was absolutely exhausting. Inside, I was falling apart. The energy it took to keep up that mask was energy I didn't have for actual healing. Every morning felt like putting on a heavy suit of armor just to face the world, and every night, when I was finally alone, that armor would come crashing down, and I would be left with nothing but the raw, unfiltered pain. The turning point for me wasn't some grand action or an amazing epiphany. It was a quiet moment of surrender. I realized I was judging myself for not healing fast enough. I was being so hard on myself for still being in pain, for still having bad days. The real shift happened when I decided to stop the self-judgment and instead, for the first time, try to offer myself some self-compassion. I finally admitted to myself, alone in my room, I'm not okay, and that's okay. The relief of just dropping the act of giving myself that grace was the first real step toward true healing. It was like I could finally breathe again. It was the moment I stopped fighting my feelings and just allowed them to be there. And in that acceptance, I found a strange kind of peace. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. The truth about healing. Not the version you see in movies, where a sad montage ends with the person magically being happy again. I want to talk about the real, messy, human version. The first truth is this: you are not alone. Right now, as you are listening to my voice, there are thousands, maybe millions, of other people around the world feeling this exact same pain. Their stories are different, their circumstances are unique, but the heartbreak is the same. Your heart is broken, but you are part of a silent community of brave people who are navigating this exact same storm. You are not isolated in your pain, even when it feels like you are the only one in the world who could possibly understand this depth of hurt. The second truth: healing is not a straight line. It is not a neat, step by step process where every day is better than the last. It's a messy, chaotic, beautiful, human journey. Think of it like learning to walk again after a serious injury. Some days you'll take a few confident steps forward. Other days you'll stumble and fall. A bad day does not erase your progress. It does not mean you are failing. It is just part of the path. On those hard days, the most important thing you can do is choose self-compassion over self-judgment. Be kind to yourself. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to a dear friend who was hurting. And the third truth: your healing journey has its own timeline. Do not, under any circumstances, compare your healing process to anyone else's. Your friend might have gotten over their breakup in a month. Yours might take a year. That's okay. You're on your own pace, and that pace is the right one for you. Our society puts so much pressure on us to bounce back quickly. It's okay if your surroundings don't understand why it's taking so long. This is your journey, not theirs. You are not on their clock. You are on yours. Honor your own process. So today, I'm not giving you a to-do list. Instead, I'm officially giving you a permission slip for your broken heart to feel everything you need to feel without an ounce of guilt or shame. First, you have permission to have bad days. You have permission to have days where you feel like you will never heal, where the pain feels just as fresh as it did on day one. These are not setbacks. They're a normal and necessary part of the process. They are your heart's way of processing deep emotions. You have permission to feel hopeless sometimes. It's okay to feel lost in this journey. It's okay to not know when or even if you will feel better. You don't need to have all the answers right now. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is just get through the day. You have permission to be afraid. It is completely normal and human to be afraid of being alone. It is normal to be afraid of trusting anyone again. It is normal to be afraid to love again. These fears are not a sign of weakness. They are just your heart's way of protecting itself while it heals. Don't fight them. Acknowledge them. And you have permission to feel like your self-worth and self-esteem are on the floor. A breakup can feel like a direct hit to your value as a person. It can make you question everything about yourself. But the feeling is not a fact. Your worth has not changed, not one bit, even if you can't feel it right now. It is inherent. It is unshakable. It is yours. You have my permission for all of this, to feel it all without judgment. But there is one thing you do not have my permission for. You do not have my permission to give up. You do not have my permission to lose hope. You can be sad. You can be angry. You can be scared. You can be confused. But you must, on some level, hold on to the deep, quiet belief that in the end you will be happy again. Because you will. Hope is not a feeling. It is a choice. And it is the one choice you must keep making, especially on your hardest days. I know it hurts. I know it feels like this pain will last forever, but I promise you, it won't. This pain is not your final destination. It is a temporary stop on your journey. It is a season, and like all seasons, it will eventually pass. It cannot rain forever. Every day that you get through, every tear that you cry, every moment you choose to keep going, even when it feels impossible. That is an act of incredible strength. You are so much stronger than you know. Your heart is more resilient than you can possibly imagine. You will get through this, and when you do, you will be a different person. You won't be broken. You will be wiser, stronger, and more compassionate than you ever were before. You will understand pain, and so you will understand joy in a way you never could have before. Hold on to that hope. It is your lifeline. So, we reach to the end of another episode. As you already know, healing is a journey, and it's so much more powerful when we walk it together. If you're looking for a private, supportive space to connect with others who truly get what you're going through, to share your wins and your struggles, and to get ongoing encouragement from a community that genuinely cares, then I'd love for you to join our incredible Facebook group. You can find the direct link to join us right there in the episode description of this podcast. Just tap on that and you're in. And of course, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our upcoming episodes. Remember, you are so much stronger than you think, and your brightest days are ahead. Until next time, keep healing, keep growing,